Hey there guys, this is Richard, your host, with another marvelous video. Welcome cosmic voyagers and celestial thrill seekers to a mind-bending odyssey through the galaxies. Buckle up, because we're about to unveil a lineup of mutant mayhem that's bound to leave even the fiercest supernova envious. Behold the 15 most powerful mutants who can destroy entire planets together. A gathering of otherworldly beings who would rearrange the cosmos over brunch if they felt like it. In a universe where power surges through veins like an interstellar electric current, these mutants have soared beyond mere superpowers. We're talking about forces of nature that could make a black hole look like a fluffy cloud on a summer day. They're not just knocking on the door of godlike abilities, they've kicked it wide open and redecorated the celestial parlor. But wait, there's more. It's not just their individual strength that has the cosmos shaking in its asteroid belt, it's the fact that, united, they could throw the universe's greatest rave, complete with supernova light shows and cosmic cocktails. They've got the kind of synergy that turns planets into playthings and solar systems into sandboxes. So, grab your anti-gravity popcorn, folks, because in this video, we'll journey through an introduction to the Titans who could rewrite the cosmic playbook. From firestarters hotter than a star's core to shapeshifters who could give a chameleon an identity crisis, we're diving headfirst into a mutant maelstrom that could turn galaxies into their own personal chessboards. The universe might just want to start sending out those under new management banners. These mutants are ready to conquer, and even the Big Bang might have to make way for their entrance. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Oh my god. I've never felt power like
Professor
this.
X. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves for a cerebral journey into the enigmatic and astounding mind of Professor X, a mutant of unparalleled brilliance, whose mental prowess is so mind-boggling that it might just make your thoughts blush. Picture this. The prodigious mind prodigy, whose early attempts at sibling rivalry included using nascent psychic powers to stage the ultimate showdown in his mother's womb. That's one way to make a grand entrance. Born to a lineage that reveled in genetic tinkering and clandestine experiments, Xavier's mutation bloomed like an extraterrestrial orchid in a garden of intrigue. This luminary of thought manipulation wasn't content with simply being a genius. He decided to become an authority in the field of genetics, mutation, and psionics. Seriously, folks, the man could code DNA in his sleep, and probably had it for breakfast too. Armed with a Cerebro-like helmet and a knack for seeing the world with a third, or maybe a 10th eye, Xavier unlocked a potential that practically screamed, "Planet domination is just a side gig." But hold on to your psychic hats, because Professor X is an advocate of peace. You see, his telepathic powers, capable of reading minds and projecting thoughts like cosmic confetti, could easily tear through the fabric of reality itself. In fact, he's so powerful that even the X-Men movies had to address the elephant in the room. Remember when he almost wiped out all mutants? Or when his brain was not quite as well-mannered as usual? This virtuoso of cognition wasn't just content with mastering the art of mind-reading and projection. No, he had to add a dash of mystique, pun intended, by summoning psionic force bolts, creating telepathic illusions that put Houdini to shame, and even altering memories with the flair of a cosmic tailor. But, dear Starhoppers, beware the shadow of Xavier's dark side. We're talking Onslaught, a manifestation of his own murky musings, so intense that it makes you reconsider your darkest thoughts over your morning coffee. The guy has even kept a collection of Xavier protocols on how to neutralize his friends, just in case. And let's not forget his penchant for secret experiments and manipulating situations like a chess grandmaster. So, strap in for a journey into the mind-bending realm of Professor X, a mutant whose mental might could rearrange the cosmic sofa and turn planets into brain-powered marionettes. Just remember, if he ever decided to give in to his darker inclinations, the universe might just become his chessboard, and the stars his pawns. Onslaught. Hold on to your reality-warping helmets, cosmic explorers, because we're about to delve into the mind-bending saga of Onslaught, the mutant entity born from a cosmic cocktail of Charles Xavier's wisdom and Magneto's magnetism. So, let's imagine this. Two of the most formidable mutants in existence, accidentally tossing the thoughts into a blender set to obliterate, and out comes Onslaught, the mutant manifestation that could make the Hulk hesitate before smashing. Let's rewind to the origin story, where a battle between X-Men and Magneto's acolytes led to Wolverine getting a painful metal makeover, courtesy of Magneto's magnetism. Charles Xavier had tolerated Magneto's villainous antics like a saint, but when Magneto went a step too far, Xavier's patience snapped like a rusty spring. He used his telepathic mojo to shut down Magneto's mind, and in a cosmic twist of fate, the suppressed rage, grief, and vengeance inside Magneto decided to camp out in Xavier's mind, giving birth to the malevolent entity known as Onslaught. Who needs hobbies when you can brew up cosmic nightmares in your head? Right. Onslaught's power? Well, let's just say that if you thought your remote control was impressive, he'd probably turn it into a universe-controlling device before breakfast. He's got all the telepathic bells and whistles, from mind-reading to projecting thoughts into the minds of others, all with enough range to reach a cosmic barbecue on the edge of the galaxy. He's like a psychic DJ, spinning tunes in your brains without your consent. But wait, there's more. Onslaught has got telepathic illusions that would make a funhouse feel inadequate, and he can even put a mental mask on himself and others, making them invisible to even the most probing of psychic peepers. He's the Picasso of the mental world, painting thoughts with the flair of a mad genius. Don't think his mental mayhem stops there. He's got telekinesis that could make a superhero garage sale look like child's play. He can lift, move, and manipulate objects on a scale that would make Atlas envious. Need a new son? Onslaught could whip one up from scratch. Want to turn someone into a human doll? Easy peasy, thanks to his ability to manipulate magnetic fields and control iron within organic matter. Your body is now a puppet, and he's the puppeteer. But what truly puts the OMG in Onslaught's OMG level powers is his reality manipulation. He's not just bending spoons, he's also crafting pocket universes like a cosmic seamstress. And you better believe he can bring a second sun into existence just to light up a cosmic dance floor. And let's not forget his Omega level strength that allowed him to duke it out with a Hulk who skipped his anger management classes. So, dear spacefarers, whether you're telepathically tuning in from Earth or projecting your thoughts across the cosmos, remember this: Onslaught might be slumbering for now, but his immense power and cosmic chaos are never far from waking up and giving the universe a migraine that it will never forget. Franklin Richards. Move over cosmic catastrophes because Franklin Richards is here to redefine the term overpowered. Imagine being the offspring of the Fantastic Four, the superheroes who are basically the coolest family band ever to grace the cosmic stage. That is Franklin, the reality warper extraordinaire with a dash of "did I just rearrange the universe for breakfast?" Franklin's origin story reads like a cosmic soap opera mixed with a splash of genetic juiciness. You see, when you're the child of Reed and Sue Richards, aka the brainy Mr. Fantastic and the invisible force field conjurer, you're pretty much destined for greatness. But Franklin was not just another cosmic tot. He was a mutant in the making. Except, whoops, he wasn't. You know those moments when you try to impress someone, so you fudge a little bit on your resume? Well, Franklin did something similar. He made his own X gene, like a cosmic DIY project, just to join the mutant club. It's like saying, "Hey universe, look what I can do," and then casually crafting the equivalent of a cosmic fireworks show in your living room. But let's backtrack to his birth, a complicated saga involving cosmic radiation, energy-charged blood cells, and a babysitter/sorceress named Agatha Harkness. Franklin was born a mutant, and his powers sprouted quicker than a dandelion on a summer day. As a toddler, he gave the Frightful Four a wake-up call they will not forget, proving that tantrums could literally be earth-shattering. Franklin's powers escalated faster than a roller coaster on warp speed, and before you could say cosmic conundrum, he aged himself into a grown-up version of himself, aptly named Avatar. Imagine having the power to be any age you want. Childhood nostalgia on demand. But there's more. Franklin is not just a reality warper, he's a reality party starter. He's got the ability to mold matter and energy like Play-Doh, creating pocket universes like their cosmic snow globes. Celestial entities took notice, and when cosmic beings start complementing your powers, you know you're kind of a big deal. But wait, there's a catch. Like an overenthusiastic magician pulling rabbits from hats, Franklin realized he needed to tap the brakes on his powers. So, he transformed back into a child with psychic dampers to keep his universe-altering antics in check. Smart move, Franklin, because nobody wants to accidentally create a black hole while playing catch. And just when he thought Franklin was done, he joined forces with Power Pack as Tattletale, the future seer extraordinaire. Because when you're a reality-warping mutant, why not add future predicting to your cosmic repertoire? In the cosmic shuffle of powers, realities, and a dash of teenage rebellion, Franklin's story keeps evolving like a universe on an espresso binge. So, to the most powerful mutant who can alter the cosmos with a snap of his fingers, we tip our reality-distorting hats. Just remember, Franklin, with great cosmic power comes great responsibility, and probably a whole lot of cosmic paperwork. Matthew Malloy. Meet Matthew Malloy, the mutant powerhouse who takes emotional outbursts to a whole new level. Now, imagine this. A guy who's not just dealing with the usual life drama, but has the added bonus of spontaneously obliterating things when he's upset. It's like he took "I need some space" way too literally and accidentally created a sinkhole that rivals the Grand Canyon. Matthew's origin story reads like a roller coaster dipped in cosmic energy and sprinkled with tragedy. During the Skrull invasion, he witnessed his wife's vaporization by alien energy blasts. Talk about a seriously heated argument. Then, just when you thought things couldn't get worse, a S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier swooped in like, Hey, need a hand? How about a scroll head? It was like cosmic karma finally decided to show up at the party. Fast forward and Matthew's emotional roller coaster continues as he moves to Newbury and reunites with his sister-in-law, Alana. But before you can say family reunion, his grief triggers an explosion that makes fireworks look like sparkles in a kid's hand. Seriously, this guy's emotional baggage could power a city block. Cue the SHIELD intervention. As if one emotional meltdown wasn't enough, they send a robotic drone with Maria Hill's holographic image to check on him. Spoiler alert, holograms can't give therapy. Matthew's emotions go haywire again, and let's just say the strike team that showed up, yep, they didn't exactly leave in one piece. But wait, we have more. Matthew's power levels escalate like a cosmic energy shot, and he resurrects himself after an airstrike. Now, he's teleporting around as if he's playing a cosmic version of hide-and-seek. Oh, and did I mention he made Emma Frost go poof? Not your everyday casual conversation, that's for sure. The X-Men, realizing they've got a mutant wrecking ball on their hands, send Tempest on a time-traveling escapade to erase him from existence. It's like a mutant version of, oops, I did it again. Except instead of breaking hearts, he's breaking the space-time continuum. So, to Matthew Malloy, the mutant who could give even the most dramatic reality TV stars a run for the money, we salute you. Just remember, next time you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, maybe take up a less explosive hobby, like knitting or baking cosmic cupcakes. Emma Frost. Emma Frost is the telepathic diamond dame who can give even the shiniest of gems a run for the money. She's the mutant who turned I see you into an art form, mastering the mind-bending power of telepathy while simultaneously proving that diamonds are indeed a mutant's best friend. From her frosty origins as a Boston social outcast to her reign as the White Queen of the Hellfire Club, Emma's journey reads like a diamond-encrusted roller coaster. Born into a wealthy family, she said ta-ta to tradition and hello to Frost International, building an empire while juggling psychic hijinks and mutant mayhem. Seriously, who needs a regular business card when you can just telepathically project your resume? Speaking of telepathy, Emma's a pro at mind games, and I don't mean Candy Crush. She can broadcast thoughts, control minds, and whip up illusions that would make David Copperfield blush. And if you've ever wondered what it's like to have an enemy who can read your mind, just ask Kitty Pryde, who probably regretted every embarrassing thought she ever had. But wait, there's more bling to this mutant queen. Emma has got a secondary mutation that turns her into a walking diamond. Yeah, you heard that right. It's like she transformed into a high-fashion jewelry store display, complete with super strength, super stamina, and a super immunity to telepathy while in diamond form. Talk about accessorizing for survival. And let's not forget her stint as a co-head mistress at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, because who better to shape young minds than a telepathic diamond diva? Plus, she survived the Genosian genocide and became an inestimable member of the X-Men. She's like a high-powered mutant chameleon, blending brains, brawn, and bling into one fabulous package. But that's not all, folks. No, Emma's not just playing in the mutant minor leagues. She's sitting pretty on the Quiet Council of Krakoa, influencing mutant-human relations, running Hellfire Trading Company, and throwing the annual Hellfire Gala. It's like she took Girl Boss to a whole new dimension, literally. So, here's to you, Emma Frost, the mutant who showed us that diamonds are more than just pretty rocks. They're also telepathic powerhouses with a flair for fabulousness. Just remember, when dealing with Emma, keep your thoughts in check, unless you want her to serve up a dose of psychic reality TV. Jean Grey. When it comes to mutants who can obliterate planets just by batting an eye, Jean Grey, the telepathic Tempest, ranks among the creme de la creme. Her story begins with a tragic twist, as the death of a childhood friend acts as the cosmic catalyst for her mutant awakening. Trauma-induced superpowers? It's like her origin story was written by a team of therapists with a flair for the dramatic. Under the tutelage of Professor Charles Xavier, Jean honed her telepathic talents, but her talents didn't stop there. With the addition of telekinesis, she turned multitasking into an art form, lifting objects, protecting herself, and probably levitating a cup of coffee while checking her email. Yet, the pièce de résistance of Jean's power portfolio is her tumultuous relationship with the Phoenix Force. Let's just say that Phoenix is like a rebellious teenager who doesn't quite grasp the concept of controlled destruction. It took over Jean, turned her into the Dark Phoenix, and set the universe ablaze. You know you're in trouble when your alter ego has the word dark in it, and you're making stars go supernova just because you're having a bad day. Jean's connection to the Phoenix made her a global and universal level threat. It's like handing a toddler a flamethrower and hoping they'll use it responsibly. But she's not just a one-trick cosmic disaster. She's got the whole psychic package, from reading minds to rearranging thoughts like a mental Tetris pro. Plus, she's got telekinesis skills that put jugglers to shame, manipulating objects, creating force fields, and even changing the molecular structure of things. I bet she could turn a slice of pizza into a Nobel Prize if she put her mind to it. Yet, the real kicker is her empathic ability, which is like having an emotional superpower. She's the go-to friend when you need someone to understand why your latte is causing you existential dread. And let's not forget her psychic siphoning trick, stealing psychic energy from foes like a high-stakes poker game where you bet with thoughts instead of chips. But back to the planet-destroying potential. Jean Grey, with the Phoenix Force as her cosmic sidekick, is like a walking cosmic reset button. She can reshape matter and energy on a molecular level. Basically, it gives her the power to redecorate the universe. Who needs an architect when you have a telekinetic interior designer on speed dial, right? So, whether she's taking control of minds or bending the fabric of reality itself, Jean Grey is a mutant powerhouse who can make planets quake in their orbit. Just remember, if you invite her to a barbecue, ask her to leave the cosmic powers at home. We all know what happened last time she tried to grill burgers. Magneto. Magneto, the master of magnetism himself, a mutant with a knack for turning everyday metal objects into his personal playthings. Seriously, who needs a Swiss Army knife when you can have a guy who can reshape cutlery with a flick of his wrist? But let's not forget, this is not just about flashy parlor tricks. Oh no. Magneto is all about planet-sized power plays and the kind of magnetic manipulation that makes your fridge magnets feel utterly inadequate. Born as Eric Magnus Lenscher, this guy's origin story is like a horror film combined with a history lesson. Growing up amidst Nazi atrocities in Auschwitz, he faced more metal bars than a heavy metal concert. But instead of giving in to despair, he embraced his mutant ability to control magnetism. Talk about making the best of a bad situation. Sure, some mutants can shoot lasers from their eyes or control the weather. But Magneto, he can literally shape the very fabric of reality. Well, at least the metal parts. His power over magnetism is so encompassing that he could probably rearrange your fridge contents to spell out Shakespearean sonnets if he felt like it. And if you think this is just about making coins dance, think again. He can generate electromagnetic pulses, create force fields strong enough to make tanks feel insecure, and even play hide-and-seek with light by bending it around himself. Move over, Houdini. Magneto has got the ultimate vanishing act down to the science of it. But it's not just about power, it's about attitude. Magneto is like the mutant version of a rebellious teenager who's determined to overthrow humanity and replace it with his own kind. He's like the guy at the party who insists on DJing, even though he's got his own agenda of metal-themed musical domination. And let's not forget his fashion sense. The iconic helmet that not only complements his supervillain aesthetic, but also keeps telepaths at bay. Because, you know, the last thing a guy who can manipulate planets needs is someone poking around in his thoughts. So, there you have it, Magneto, the guy who can twist metal, reshape landscapes, and maybe even give Earth a cosmic shake-up if he's feeling particularly mischievous. Just remember, when you're dealing with Magneto, it's not just about controlling metal, it's about controlling the very fabric of your reality. Metalheads, unite! For the master of magnetism is here to rock your world, or at least your pocket change. Legion. In a world where mutant powers range from summoning twinkling lights to baking cupcakes with a stare, Legion scoffs at mediocrity from the comfort of his fractured psyche. Born from the tryst between Professor Charles Xavier and an Israeli diplomat, Gabrielle Holler, David Holler might have seemed your typical heir to mutant royalty. Except, instead of having just one superpower, he's the whole smorgasbord of a mutant power buffet. David's origin story is like a cross between a soap opera and a mad scientist's fever dream. Born a mutant, he was like a living Swiss Army knife of psionic abilities, with each persona housing a different power. But his powers really decided to come out of the closet when his stepfather met an untimely end, triggering his dissociative identity disorder. If life gives you trauma, why not throw in a few thousand split personalities as a bonus, right? These personalities are like his very own band of merry mischief makers. Jamal Karami, the terrorist leader. Jack Wayne, the telekinetic roustabout adventurer. Cindy, the pyrokinetic rebellious girl, and let's not forget the Legion, the god mutant who thinks reality is nothing more than a plaything. These personas represent the ultimate identity crisis, but one that gives a whole new meaning to, I'm a lot of different people before I've had my coffee. But hold your horses, there's more. Imagine a superhero that can create new superpowers like a kid mixing colors to create new shades. With a snap of his psychic fingers, he can introduce a personality that turns kittens into laser-shooting, time-traveling, interdimensional warriors. Well, that's basically what David does. But instead of kittens, it's his own mind that he's experimenting on. Legion's powers are like a box of chocolates. You never know what destructive cosmic force you're gonna get. From warping reality to controlling gravity. from toying with time to making sure you never lose your keys again. Probably, he's got it all covered. His abilities are so diverse that he once erased elder gods from existence like they were a typo in the Universal Manuscript. Imagine being at a dinner party where each guest has a superpower, but this time there's no assigned seating and no concepts of personal space. Legion's mindscape is the ultimate playground for chaos, where cosmic turmoil and mutant powers have a merry dance party, and reality is just a term on vacation. So, while some mutants struggle to choose between flight and invisibility, Legion is the ultimate multitasker. He's the mutant equivalent of a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle that's missing a few dozen pieces and has a few pieces that have come from entirely different puzzles. But amidst all this chaos lies the heart of a character who's not just powerful, but a fascinating exploration of the intersection between superhuman abilities and mental fragility. In a world where mutants range from powerful to peculiar, Legion's story reminds us that sometimes having too much of a good thing can lead to an explosion of cosmic proportions, or at least an entertaining TV show. In the grand pantheon of mutants, there's one figure who towers above them all, quite literally. En Sabanur, or as his mum used to call him, the Morning Light, before he decided that Apocalypse had a much cooler ring to it, is the granddaddy of all mutants. Born in the golden sands of ancient Egypt, where the sunscreen industry hadn't quite taken off yet, Apocalypse's grey skin and blue lines were so avant-garde that his own tribe took one look and said, "Nah, we're good." But fear not, for the Sandstormers, those marauding nomads who apparently had no concept of nursery rhymes, scooped up the little grey package of potential like a desert-themed rescue mission. Raised by a ruthless warrior who had clearly skipped the Do Not Raise a Supervillain 101 class, Apocalypse grew into a fine specimen of genetic overachievement. He had the audacity to believe in survival of the fittest, even though it's obvious he never had to struggle with finding matching socks in the morning. His mutant powers were so excessive that even Mother Nature raised an eyebrow. He could shapeshift like a chameleon on steroids, create weapons from thin air, thick air, or even dusty air, and even shrink or grow to enormous size, which might explain why he had trouble finding well-fitting superhero outfits. His superhuman strength was off the charts, making the Hulk tremble in his non-existent purple pants. And don't even get me started on his energy manipulation skills. If you had the ability to vaporize stuff at a molecular level, wouldn't you start with your laundry pile? Apocalypse wasn't just content with being an all-round powerhouse. Oh no, he also dabbled in being a telepath, telekinetic, and general technology whisperer. If your toaster suddenly started spouting poetry and debating Nietzsche, you could probably blame Apocalypse for that. But what truly sets him apart from your run-of-the-mill mutant with a penchant for world domination is his sense of style. While most villains would settle for just obliterating planets, Apocalypse, being the overachiever that he is, would rather rule the Earth as a cruel god. You have to give him credit for ambition. It's not every day you meet someone who's more interested in being an evil overlord than just hitting the self-destruct button. When the Apocalypse does eventually arrive, remember that it will not just be any apocalypse. It will be the Apocalypse, brought to you by the mutant who once saw a toaster and thought, I can work with this. When you see the grey-skinned giant strutting around in his tech-enhanced armor, remember that fashion sense might not be his strongest suit, but with power like that, who cares if he clashes with a rainbow? The only thing left to ponder is whether he'll finally manage to dismantle the Earth at a molecular level, or just use it as a paperweight for his mutant diaries. Vulcan. In a universe full of mutant misfits and superhero shenanigans, there's always that one sibling who takes the whole sibling rivalry thing to a cosmic level. Meet Vulcan, the guy who not only shares DNA with the likes of Cyclops and Havoc, but decided to one-up them by becoming the prodigious poster child for mutant overachievement. Vulcan's origin story started out with a real bang. Born into slavery on the Shi'ar throne world, artificially aged to adolescence like he was the latest in Shi'ar fashion, and then sent on a cosmic journey to Earth. Because, hey, intergalactic shipping is all the rage. After surviving the less-than-cozy shuttle, he found himself a new gig as a student under the care of the ever-so-wise Moira McTaggart. But why settle for mutant school when you can join the exclusive club of the X-Men? So, there he is, Vulcan, the cosmic mutant fraternal triple threat, younger siblings to Cyclops and Havoc, and leader of the I'm really good at blowing things up club. Armed with an energy-manipulating skill set that makes pyrotechnics look like child's play, Vulcan can light up a galaxy with a flick of his fingers. Need heat? He's got you covered. How about some electricity to power your toaster? Or an aura of light to impress your alien pen pal? Vulcan has got it all. wrapped up in an electromagnetic bow. But wait, we still have more. Vulcan is also a space rebel, venturing back to his Shi'ar roots to usurp a throne and make things interesting. With godlike powers at his disposal, he didn't just want a slice of the cosmic pie, he wanted the whole darn bakery. And what's a good villainous arc without a dash of revenge? He crashed the X-Men party like an energy drink overdose, taking out Banshee, kidnapping Marvel Girl and Cyclops, and generally being the life of the galactic party. If you think his powers are impressive, just wait until you hear about his family drama. The Summers family tree might as well be a fireworks display of superpowers. And speaking of trees, Vulcan's story takes a sharp cosmic turn as he hangs out in space for a cosmic coffee break, only to come back angrier than ever and ready to prove that when it comes to family feuds, he doesn't mess around. So, there you have it, Vulcan. The cosmic firecracker with the mutant energy-charged vengeance. He's not just your average sibling. He's the sibling who's one step away from turning family reunions into interdimensional showdowns. With energy manipulation skills that make the sun look like a nightlight, Vulcan doesn't just play with fire, he is the fire. And if you're ever feeling chilly in the cosmos, just remember, all you need is a little Vulcan magic to turn up the heat. Magic. In a world of superheroes and mutant powers, some characters just take things to a whole new dimension. Enter Magic, the sorceress who's not only mastered the art of magic, but also throws in some extra-dimensional travel for good measure. Ilyana Rasputin, the younger sibling of the steel-skinned Colossus, didn't have your typical childhood. While most kids were out riding bikes and playing with action figures, Ilyana found herself abducted to a place called Limbo, a dimension that was less like a vacation spot and more like a demonic playground. And what's a demonic playground without a little dark magic to spice things up, right? While her Earthbound friends were mastering algebra, Ilyana was mastering the fine art of mystical manipulation. But let's not forget what the real magic trick is here: time travel. While most of us struggle to get through traffic, Ilyana casually hops through time and space like a cosmic Uber driver. Need a lift across dimensions? She's got you covered. And if you're ever stuck in a tight spot, just call on her Soul Sword, a magical blade that makes Excalibur look like a butter knife. Magic's power isn't just about waving a wand and shouting abracadabra. She's got demons under her control, spells at her fingertips, and a wardrobe that transforms with her magic use, like a mystical Power Ranger. Plus, she's got the unique ability to teleport entire squads behind enemy lines. Move over, regular teleportation. Magic's version comes with a twist of limbo. Speaking of limbo, it's not your ordinary vacation spot. It's where Ilyana grew up, where she learned her craft, and where she ultimately became Sorceress Supreme. Think of it as her mystical home away from home. And with great power comes great responsibility, right? Magic's been tasked with preventing demonic invasions and keeping reality from going up in smoke. But hey, even sorceresses need a little downtime. These days, you'll find Magic not only leading and training mutants on the island of Krakoa, but also giving magic lessons at Strange Academy. Because why not teach the next generation how to bend reality and battle interdimensional baddies? So there you have it, Magic. The sorceress with a demonic side and a penchant for dimension hopping. She's like the ultimate cosmic traveler, armed with spells, swords, and a wardrobe that's to die for. And if you're ever in need of a magical ally, just remember to call on Magic, because she'll be there in a teleporting flash, ready to weave spells and kick some otherworldly butt. Hope Summers. In a world where mutant powers are as common as selfie sticks at a tourist hotspot, Hope Summers takes the cake for the most eclectic collection of abilities. She's like a mutant buffet, sampling powers from her comrades with the flair of a gourmet chef. Meet Hope, the first new mutant born after a little event called M-Day, you know? The one where Scarlet Witch pulled the ultimate party trick and swiped mutant abilities like they were party favors. Well, Hope arrived on the scene to make sure that being a mutant wasn't just a thing of the past. Talk about making an entrance. But Hope wasn't your typical baby. She was whisked away to the future by none other than Cable, who clearly knew a good thing when he saw it. Cable raised her as his own, giving her the kind of training that would make Batman proud. Think survival techniques, weapons training, and a whole lot of superhero know-how. Back in the present, Hope's powers started kicking in, and boy, are they a doozy. Her main gig is power mimicry, like Rogue, but with a twist. She doesn't need a physical touch to snag someone's powers. It's like she's at a mutant smorgasbord, just picking and choosing whatever ability tickles her fancy. And the best part, no side effects for the original owner. It's like getting your superpowers cloned without the awkward family reunion. But wait, we still have more in store for you. Hope is not just satisfied with mimicking powers. She can also amplify them. Need a power boost? Hope's got you covered. Oh, and if you're worried about your powers going haywire, no worries. She's a pro at power regulation, like the ultimate superhero life coach. And let's not forget about her link to the Phoenix Force. You know, the fiery cosmic entity that tends to show up when things are about to get seriously epic. Yeah, that one. Hope has got a cosmic hotline to the Phoenix, like the mutant equivalent of having the bat signal on speed dial. But with great power comes a few kinks in the system. Hope's abilities are like a fire hose of energy that's hard to control. Just imagine trying to sip from a fire hose without soaking yourself and everything around you. Yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds. And while she might be a power chameleon, Hope is no power thief. She's immune to power absorption and mimicry, so don't even think about trying to steal her powers. Plus, her power buffet doesn't extend to non-mutants, so no luck trying to copy the Fantastic Four's gig. In a world where mutants are like a box of assorted chocolates, Hope Summers is the one that is packed with surprises. She's a power mimic extraordinaire, a cosmic force connector, and the ultimate mutant Swiss Army knife. So, if you're ever in need of a mutant power boost, just call on Hope. She's got the power for every occasion, and a side of superhero sass to go with it. Storm. Oh, Storm. The weather-wrangling mutant whose fury can put even Mother Nature to shame. She's the reigning queen of meteorological mayhem, and while her fellow mutants get caught up in existential crisis, family drama, and cosmic entanglements, Storm stands tall, unleashing the storm within and around her. Hailing from the heart of Africa, Storm's journey to greatness reads like a monsoon-powered epic. Orphaned after a plane's disastrous touchdown into her life, she traded a life of Cairo's back alley mischief for an appointment as weather goddess in the Serengeti Plains. And boy, did she take that promotion seriously. Professor X soon came knocking on her atmospheric abode and offered her a spot on his team of superpowered misfits, the X-Men. But this wasn't just a ticket to a mutant carnival. It was an invitation to become the tempestuous Tsarina of the skies. Storm's powers are not limited to occasional rainfall or a slightly overcast day. She wields weather like a maestro, crafting a symphony of meteorological madness. Rain, hail, snow, lightning, you name it, she bends it to her will. And let's not forget her uncanny knack for creating tornadoes with the same ease that most people summon an Uber. But Storm is not just a meteorological circus act, she's also an expert in combat, flaunting a proficiency with weapons and hand-to-hand combat that rivals the agility of a lightning bolt. She could disarm a criminal while fixing a hair with her other hand. Talk about multitasking. And if you didn't know, let us tell you that Storm has a special hotline to the planet's heart. No, really? She's besties with Mother Earth and can sense the planet's pulse. She's basically a cosmic therapist who knows when the Earth needs a little more love and moisture. But her most impressive trick, defeating death itself in a cosmic smackdown. Not many can say they've triumphed over the ultimate end, especially while wearing a cape that billows dramatically in the wind. So, when you're caught in a summer downpour or facing the wrath of a lightning storm, just remember, Storm is the one choreographing that watery waltz above you. And as she guides thunderbolts with a flick of her fingers, you can't help but wonder if she's secretly orchestrating a universal dance party. Cable. Behold, dear viewers, the enigmatic time-hopping marvel known as Cable. A mutant whose origin story reads like a mashup of a soap opera and a sci-fi action movie script. Nathan Summers, son of the legendary Cyclops and a woman who's a clone of Cyclops' true love, Jean Grey, talk about complicated family dynamics, is a mutant with a flair for both telepathy and telekinesis. Born under the watchful eye of the sinister Mr. Sinister, who probably had a very sinister laugh. Cable's destiny was scripted before his parents even met, like a cosmic blind date set up by a mad geneticist. Through a convoluted cosmic cocktail of clone drama, Phoenix Force shenanigans, and nefarious plots, Nathan's life took a wild turn. Infected with the techno-organic virus as an infant, he was sent to a post-apocalyptic future because every good hero needs a stint in a desolate wasteland to be raised as Nathan Dayspring, prophesied to take down the big bad apocalypse. Fast forward through battles, time jumps, and a few identity crises, and we have a Cable who is battle-hardened, tactical genius, and oozing with powers that will make your average mutant green with envy. Telepathy? Check. Telekinesis? Double check. He can read minds, manipulate matter with a flick of his thought, and even put on a light show of psionic blasts. Oh, and don't forget the techno-organic enhancements that make him a walking cybernetic wonderland. But wait, there's more. Cable's powers are not just about being the life of the mutant party, they're about saving the world, or worlds, one timeline at a time. He's peeked into the future, battled mutant clones, and thwarted apocalyptic plots. His powers are so advanced that even other powerful mutants are like, dude, That's a lot of power you got there. What truly sets Cable apart is his determination to change the past, shape the present, and secure a better future. Think of him as the ultimate life coach, helping mutants and mankind avoid their self-destructive tendencies. He's been a mentor, a soldier, and even a parent figure to a fellow mutant named Hope Summers, which sounds like the most intense version of babysitting. So here we have it, Cable, a mutant with powers that can rearrange matter, predict disasters, and make you question the laws of physics. His journey through time, destiny's whims, and genetic quirks have molded him into a powerhouse of mutant might. Just remember, while some mutants simply bend metal or read minds, Cable is out here bending timelines and rewriting history like it's a rough draft. Exodus. Ladies and gentlemen, gather round and feast your eyes on Exodus, the medieval mutant who traded in his chainmail for telekinesis and his sword for psionic might, earning a spot as one of the 15 most powerful mutants who can obliterate entire planets together. Prepare to be amazed as we unravel the astonishing saga of his rise from nobleman to mutant powerhouse. In the realm of medieval France, where knights were brave and dragons were metaphorical, one man stood out among the clanking armor and ye olde taverns. Grand Duke Bernat du Paris, a nobleman with a flair for chivalry, found himself drafted into the Crusades. But hold your horses, because his destiny was about to be rewritten by the cosmic forces that secretly binge-watched history. On a quest that would make Indiana Jones jealous, Bennett and his chum, the Black Knight, were hunting down some mystical tower of power. It's like a medieval self-help book on steroids. Suddenly, a voice echoed in Bennett's head, asking if he's game for a little mutation mischief. Turns out he was. With a dramatic flourish, his mutant powers erupted, proving that he was more than just your average sword swinger. Then enter Apocalypse, the mutant supervillain with a knack for upgrading his minions like the latest smartphone. Apocalypse gave Bennett a makeover, dubbing him Exodus, his personal enforcer. Now equipped with powers that would make Magneto's helmet spin, Exodus went on a rampage across the land, presumably accompanied by an epic metal soundtrack. But behold, the tale took a twist worthy of a Shakespearean drama. Exodus refused to take the evil henchman title lying down. He turned against Apocalypse, called him out on his god complex, and set the stage for an epic showdown that had the Alps trembling. Unfortunately for Exodus, he forgot to read the fine print on the You versus Apocalypse contract, and ended up getting smacked down and buried in a tomb, like last year's fashion trends. Fast forward to the modern era, where mutant chic is all the rage, and Krakoa, the mutant island paradise, is the hottest getaway spot. Exodus is resurrected, thanks to Magneto's love for a good vintage mutant. With a new lease on life, Exodus rocks a killer outfit and joins Magneto's acolytes, striking fear into the hearts of hairstylists everywhere. Exodus isn't just a pretty face with an awesome cape, though. His powers are the mutant equivalent of a fireworks show on steroids. Telekinesis? Check. Telepathy? Double check. Teleportation? You bet your bottom mutant dollar. He can craft force fields that make bank vaults look like wet tissue paper, shoot energy beams from his eyes that would make Cyclops do a double take, and even control electromagnetic energy, like a DJ controlling beats at a mutant rave. But here's the kicker. Exodus is not just about power, he's about style. His confidence powers him up like a motivational seminar on cosmic steroids. It's like having your own personal cheerleader inside your head, except this cheerleader can lift a building with their mind. So, there you have it, folks. Exodus, the mutant who went from sword-wielding squire to cosmic conqueror. With his history-steeped origin, his I defy you Apocalypse attitude, and powers that could make Professor X contemplate early retirement, Exodus truly earns his spot as one of the mightiest mutants in the universe. It's like he took a crash course in how to be a mutant badass and aced every lesson. And who knows, maybe one day he'll unite with his fellow powerhouse mutants to form the ultimate mutant boy band, serenading the cosmos with their telekinetic harmonies. Marvelous verdict. And there you have it, fellow cosmic explorers and mutant enthusiasts. We've journeyed through the galaxy of superhuman abilities and unearthed the 15 most powerful mutants who could probably play cosmic bowling with planets, from telekinetic titans to mind-bending maestros. These mutants are not just changing the game, they're redesigning the entire playground. So, next time you're gazing up at the stars and wondering if there's life out there, remember that life might come with telepathic abilities, energy manipulation, and a penchant for interstellar shenanigans. Whether they're shaping reality with a thought, rearranging molecules like cosmic Lego, or just having a blast with their mutant pals. These powerhouse mutants have proven that the universe is their playground, and they're not afraid to play rough. But hey, before you start worrying about planets vanishing into thin air or your morning coffee suddenly becoming sentient, let's remember that these mutants are not just about destruction. They're about rewriting the rules, expanding our horizons, and making us believe that anything is possible, even if it involves bending space, time, or the occasional spoon. So, here's to the mutants who have shattered the limits of possibility and taught us that being out of this world is just a matter of perspective. Who knows what the future holds for these mutant marvels? Perhaps they'll team up to form the ultimate cosmic cleanup crew, or throw a mutant-themed party on Mars. One thing's for sure, with these mutants around, the universe will never be the same again. What did you think about these 15 amazing mutants? And which one impressed you the most? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like and hit that subscribe button on your way out. Until next time, keep your mutant powers in check and your starship engines revving. Stay super, Space Cadets.